Hello, it's Sister with a reading for the collective. Take what resonates and throw out the rest. Hope that you're feeling great. I really appreciate you. Let's see what just waking up with my coffee. Let's see what the vibe check is. Be one with nature, hug a tree, touch a boulder, save a bug. Manifest, write a letter to your future self. Get creative, draw, paint, write, sculpt, create something from your imagination. I love that. And in the energy, what do you need to know? What is in the energy that you need to know? Primary energy for the collective. There are two things here. Actually, three things. So, wow. So you're dealing with someone here that is unraveling. They're in their ego. They're, not able to outshine you, and they've lost access, or lost a lot of money, or they lost access to it, or if they were expecting some sort of windfall or to make it big. This is hopeless energy. This could be someone that's done some sort of bad business here. Someone's just unraveling. It's not working out. And this is somebody who, I feel like with the Star and the Ten of Pentacles, they just really wanted to be on top of the world here. But I feel like nothing wrong with that. The only issue is that something was at your expense. Yeah, Nine of Swords, somebody is very nervous. This is like, when the wheel turns, you don't know when the wheel is going to turn. You don't want to accumulate karma. Because it doesn't hit when everything, when you're able to organize it. It happens when you least expect it. So this is why not to try to ruin other people's lives. This could have to do with, as if it needs to be said, this could have to do with a couple, or someone choosing you, a choice in love, or a contract. The problem is someone can't stop thinking of some sort of good news in your energy. Page of Cups. So it's like someone who doesn't want something to come in for you. They could be going through some sort of a pause or a break in their life. Yeah, this is somebody who wanted you to be rejected. They wanted you to be left out. This is somebody who didn't tell the truth, or who left out some sort of information, or wanted you to be confused. This is someone who, refused to see things from another perspective. When life offered them a pause, to pause and reflect. Again, this is somebody who's been in denial. someone that's, you know, really, I feel like caused some damage, being in denial, really in their ego, didn't want you to receive something or tried to block you somehow. Now they feel like there's this, either someone has feelings for you, or it's that you've got some kind of newness here. Page of Wands, Page of Cups, a new adventure, sweet new adventure, dreamy energy, good news. I'm not sure what arena that falls in yet. I'll clarify. Yeah, deep down, Four of Cups reversed. They don't want you to be, well, Queen of Wands, Four of Cups reversed. You're looking right at, deep down they know exactly what this is, and that it didn't work. And that's what's bothering them the most, is that you don't look like what you've been through. And the reason why they were trying to, you know, knock you off your square or delete you or, you know, stop you from being seen, stop some sort of business. They wanted you left out. They wanted you on the sidelines. They didn't want you in the game. And it's like, you know, they wanted you on the bench. They wanted to get the home run, and they wanted all the accolades after the home run. You know? And the reasons they came for you, these are the issues that are really bothering them, that they have to face. And that you know why, and they know why they came for you. And it has to do with your, you know, your essence, your style, your independence, your creativity, your courage, your warmth. And it could be also, you know, you were getting some sort of attention or something like that, that they were jealous of. So I feel like, yeah, and that also you're a sweetheart as well. You're a kind, compassionate person. This is like something that, you know, they were in competition with, but trying to hide. Somebody was trying to beat down a Queen of Cups, and they know what they were doing. They were trying to win at all costs. Somebody who brings a lot of kindness and compassion to situations. Somebody who is you know, this could have to do with, you know, your family, your love life, or what, you know, how you cultivate warmth and loving environments. They didn't want someone to put the effort in with you, or they didn't want you to be able to, you know, focus with clarity, because they didn't want you to, if everything were to go normal and they didn't get in the way, they felt like you were going to surpass them or something like that. You know, all the normal things. A kind and compassionate person who has a lot of, you know, charisma, taking action, you know, putting in the effort. That's quite a mix. And they wanted to stop that, and this person's unraveling here. They did something. There's a lot of pages here. Yeah, they're in some type of a tower. This is someone who is reckless, or they're feeling like a fool. It's some type of like a Queen of Swords in the reverse. Trying to hide something. Hide what they did, hide what's motivating them. So this is somebody who was very cutting. They could have made up lies. Somebody that was, trying to convince others you're not who you are. Whoever this is, they thought they were going to level up somehow. Or they were trying to stop you from, creating big things, long-lasting things, big projects, solidifying your finances, or building some sort of business, or leveling up at work, or finding, building something with someone, or someone that has a lot of resources, aligning with you. They didn't want that. Yeah, this is somebody who definitely was conjuring up some type of negative energy, whether on purpose or not. It comes across as very ritualistic and dark. This Queen of Swords in the reverse. So this has been very consistent. I feel like this person could have been also attacking your looks, your physical appearance, your health. I feel like somebody wanted you to feel drained, which, you think about, if they were taking all that effort to, drain you and stop you and block you, you wonder, what about themselves? Because they're taking all the energy to do that. Well, it's because they weren't cultivating anything that they cared about. They were more worried about outshining you and blocking you and stopping you. There was nothing to lose. So of course they can keep conjuring up negative energy. That's how they think or operate, because there's nothing to lose. They're already operating out of some sort of dark space. And instead of, digging deep, it's just like a sickness, looking outside of themselves, and going along with the monkey mind. Whatever the monkey mind says, they believe. They believe whatever their mind says. It could be 5 years of just listening to whatever their monkey mind says and never stop to be mindful. So we see the Hanged Man reverse, never stopping to get another perspective, stopping to listen to the other, more sort of elevated, more quiet voice. Because the monkey mind, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you could wake up wondering where you find yourself. Why do you find yourself there? And it's because you listened to a chatterbox. The mind is there to help you find your keys, do the math, that type of thing. Maybe figure out a plan. Where are you in relation to, north, that type of thing. But if you keep listening to it, that's the ego. It's going to be thinking all day. It's just going to keep chattering. And just because it thinks something doesn't make it true. And I feel like somebody has gone way far, and it has to do with protecting the ego, protecting their ego, and rationalizing this behavior to the extent that they are, they've done something here to block or stop you. Now they're unraveling this really irrational, wow. And they're unraveling because what they thought they were doing had to do with making themselves out to be better than you or something like that. And it's almost like needing that to be true so that they can live with themselves. So at some point you came across this person, or this person came across you, and you're light irritated. They're demons, especially Yeah, and something to do with your essence. They wanted to outshine you. Something, got triggered in them. Just envy, jealousy, insecurity, something like that. Definitely doing a lot of projecting. So, not looking to see. If you come across as a Queen of Wands, maybe you took a day on Sunday to, put your clothes out and figure out what you do and don't wear anymore. Put the clothes together and iron them. Do some, skin care, whatever it is. And I'm just using that as an example of what they could be seeing, That's just one aspect, just an analogy. But, not looking to see that you've gone the extra mile to drink the water or take care of yourself. If it's a physical thing, not looking at, hey, it took you, 10 years to get your hair tailbone length, and you took the time to do it, and they're jealous of your hair, but you put in the effort. Or you have a business and it's prospering, but you used skills that you went to school for, or that you've been doing since you were a child. Or you're very warm at a gathering or a party, and lots of people like to be around you. Maybe you did a lot of meditating, shadow work, so that you can have a good time unencumbered. It's like not looking at how you arrived. You're a Queen of Cups. Maybe you promised yourself a long time ago, don't never sell out. Your heart is more important, and you stuck to that, and there's been consequences because of it. Anyway, so this person's monkey mind responded to whatever they were projecting and decided, you don't deserve whatever it is, and they need to have it instead of you, and then they need to, get rid of you and prove that, they're better, they're the one, they deserve the spotlight, they deserve to be seen as the inspiring one, the one that, brings the interest, whatever it is. Now this person is unraveling, and they did some really horrific things, and they calculated. They really did calculate. And they didn't just do something once. This is, somebody's literal lifestyle. This was, and it's like you were a piece of their, life plan. How to destroy this person, get them out of the way. Wow, recent past, 3 of Pentacles, the Empress. This is why somebody's unraveling. Wow, whoever this is feeling empty inside, and everything. What is stirring up inside of them and around them is a lot of emptiness and a lot of darkness. No love and jealousy. Yeah, this person is like filled with, what is it? What's the saying? Salt and vinegar. Bitter, dark, sinister energy here. And empty. Extremely empty. Reacting to you, Empress, 3 of Pentacles, because of something you're building here. And because you're an Empress. So you embody all queens of the deck. This is you having earned your throne. You're not just the Empress because you just fell into a chair and a crown landed on your head. It's because you've been through life experiences, and you deserve it. You deserve it. And you've got someone here. This is the worst possible energy, very reactive to the fact that what they wanted it to be versus what's happening. That they're very much in their ego, they've been in their ego. And there could be some kind of a situation where if this is like romance involved, then someone is not in love with someone here. Someone doesn't love someone. Seven of Swords, Devil, Reverse, Ace of Cups. This is the worst energy. Somebody sneaking around in some kind of sinister energy that's feeling empty. That's obsessing over you, what you're building, who you're building with. And out here, feeling foolish or doing something reckless. Things are falling apart in their life, and there's a lot of changes going on for you. And that they feel like they can't keep up with whatever it is they're trying to destroy. There's too many moving parts. Interesting. So they're in a tower over some kind of breakup and you overcoming a betrayal, or something to do with like a couple. It's not a good match. And someone meant to crush you permanently. You weren't supposed to rise again. They lost control. Now this is ridiculous. This is sinister. Your ships are coming in. There could be something about someone traveling to you. Yeah, you're a Queen of Cups. They're in a tower. You're a sweetheart. Someone sees you as a sweetheart. You are a sweetheart. They couldn't kill your spirit. Other people see you for who you are. This could involve marriage, initiation, acceptance, God, for a Queen of Cups. They wanted you at rock bottom. Yeah, this is some type of like a Queen of Pentacles reverse. It could be more than one. This is definitely someone who wanted to outshine you. They're getting the opposite. It's like an analogy is like if you owned a restaurant and you were the chef, and this person, saw a review of your restaurant and you were mentioned in the, in the review, and then they go to the restaurant and they see how bustling and warm it is, and then they come up with a plan to, steal your restaurant so that they can be the cook there, and then get a review instead of you, and then they want to see you go down or disappear, and they want you to witness them running your restaurant. But the problem is they can't cook. They can't cook. It's like some sort of illusion that's like breaking up here. They don't belong in some sort of situation. There's no love here. Someone's empty inside. So whatever was driving someone, looking outside of themselves at you, not their calling. It's just not their path. Everybody's unique. They're, over here trying to outshine your life, And I feel like you've got protected energy. They're in a tower over a relationship, a choice in love. This could also be someone moving towards you very quickly. This could also be you moving forward with a lot of courage. Being protected in a situation. Yeah, protecting yourself, defending yourself, being protected. King of Swords energy. Your energy being protected, your inspiration, your spark. And also, this could have to do with someone's attraction to you. This is some type of like a Queen of Pentacles reverse. So I feel like this is somebody who may have had some kind of like a leadership position. This could be someone that was abusing their power. Wow. So, near future for the collective. Five of Wands in the reverse. Somebody here, Wheel of Fortune reverse, the World reverse, Queen of Pentacles reverse. It's this Queen of Pentacles ruining their life. They ruined their life. They can't have your life. They feel like the world is closing in on them. They feel like a failure. They're not your competition. They are not your competition. They can't beat you. And you don't want to even think that way. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And it's not about who's better than who. It's about you living out your calling. What are you born to do? Versus, trying to manipulate the universe instead of going within to see how you fit. Somebody in denial. Yeah, it's a Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, which could be describing this Queen of Swords reverse. I feel like it could be the same person. So very, very materialistic, shallow, judgmental, mean-spirited, calculated, cutting, malicious, that involved some group. It involved a whole group of people that went along with it. No, these people not reflecting at all. I mean, I feel like you've probably forgiven everybody here, because otherwise you live in the same energy that they're projecting at you, and then it does affect your life. Or you do the best you can to not be in the same energy that they're projecting at you, because then, yeah, this devil, this is not what energy you want to live in. There's someone very jealous and obsessed in some sort of sinister energy having to do with somebody's entirely different person's life than themselves. It's really absurd. The way that it feels energetically is like if you were, sitting in the park and you saw a squirrel, and then you became very jealous of the squirrel. And then you started stalking the squirrel and then talking about the squirrel. And that's how ridiculous this is. You are a piece of nature. You are a conscious person experiencing consciousness. Yeah, you are a conscious person experiencing life. You are your own autonomous being. You're out here being, and somebody is, looking at you like somehow this is normal. It's not normal. It's as abnormal of being jealous of a squirrel in the park and then stalking it for 5 years. That's how abnormal this is. It's weird. But somebody's like locked in. They locked in on you and rationalized this No, you are a human being that has your own life that this person has nothing to do with. Like a squirrel in the park, you're a sentient being experiencing life. They need to get out of your lane. It's just weird, but they're just totally jealous of somebody else's, consciousness, somebody's world, somebody's existence. You're trying to get in there and disrupt and destroy and and just focus, just zeroed in on one person. It's like too much. Yeah, reckless, foolish. Yeah, refusing to look within, refusing to see something from another perspective. Like, this is odd. It's sinister and it's odd. It's abnormal. It has something to do with a contract or a relationship. Maybe you have a new relationship you're in, or you have a relationship that this person they thought you were going to be rejected, but you're in a relationship, or it's about who's coming in, who's choosing you, that you're not rejected, that you're still, you have a path in front of you. There's room for someone in your life, that you're not down and out, you haven't given up on life, and it's the way people see you. They can't outshine you. The lens they're looking through: 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 3 of Swords reverse, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. There's a blessing here. Your ships are coming in. You're happy. Someone sees you as a wish come true. You're not brokenhearted. And there's some sort of long-term commitment here. Long-term plans, long-term commitment, diligence, a blessing. And this is like somebody who won't stop coming for you. That's like... it's so ridiculous, the repetitiveness of it, that it feels like, NPC vibes here. Yeah, look at that. Devil reverse. 9 of Wands reverse. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, like a program. Okay, you're showing up as a Queen of Cups, and somebody doesn't want you to... A Queen of Pentacles reverse doesn't want this Queen of Cups to be treated fairly. They're taking some sort of action here. They're in denial about a 10 of Cups. You're clearly this Empress energy. You're clearly a Queen of Cups. In the environment, Queen of Cups. Everybody can see that somebody here is like refusing to move on and is like won't stop doing something here to block or stop you, but your sweetheart. It has something to do with a love relationship, choice in love. Somebody didn't plan this. They're upset because they can't control the environment. There are things unfolding here that they didn't foresee. So somebody really thought through this lie. Somebody thrives on confusion. They're in denial. They don't want people to cut through the confusion. They don't want you to be treated fairly. What's wrong with this person? Somebody could be hiding their passionate feelings here for someone, and it's making someone angry that they're not the one instead of you. This could all be over a person that this somebody could have worked really hard to come between you and another person. That could be what this is. Like they want want to be with this person, and maybe it worked. Maybe it worked. And now, this person is not in love. They're not in love. They don't love someone here. It's not a match. It's not a match. Someone sees you as a sweetheart, and this person could be, out here trying to attack you or do things that are, lie, sneak around, try to get the facts, what you're doing, twist the truth, who knows. Very reckless energy. Even more sinister is, this could be somebody who, already, somebody that you felt like was a counterpart. They already, something happened, they manipulated someone, but this person, they had issues. If it worked, this person had issues. So rejection is God's protection, right? Because you would have gotten drained by something here. You wouldn't be in this Empress, Queen of Cups energy if you had gone down a path with somebody who was easy to manipulate that way. Because that means that they were, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? They weren't there with you. So those two could be in some kind of a relationship that is not balanced because it's been manipulated. And now there could be someone new. And that is what this person's trying to destroy. Something about trying to stop someone from transcending or leaving. There's some kind of very reckless behavior out here. There could be travel involved. And there are definitely unraveling. There's someone in some sort of a tower. Like on their phone, or trying to get into someone else's phone, or see who's calling who, or who's driving where. Looking online, watching your social media accounts, following people in cars, calling everybody, group chats, spreading lies, trying to see how they can, track a situation and block it. If it has to do with work as well, they feel like they can't really affect you. I feel like you've recognized that you have this dynamic going on, and I feel like you have come up with some very solid ways to live your life, so in ways that this person can't destroy you. I feel like this is somebody who is so unhinged that they tried to get you, fired, or like stop you from making a living. Yeah. And so I feel like you've had to really reorganize your life in a way that once you figured out what was going on, that you had some kind of just very unusual situation here with some type of like a stalker, a feminine energy stalking another feminine energy, copycat. Once you figured out what was going on, you made some adjustments, and that's why you're showing up as the Empress in the upright, Queen of Cups in the upright. So whatever they were trying to do was supposed to be, and somebody truly was trying to, destroy your life here. Somebody wanted you, seriously out on the cold, like out on the streets, like never heard from again, or So they could point at you and say, look what happened to that person, like that kind of a thing. Or no one's heard from this person because they're, wandering around outside and, talking to themselves. They're not okay, that, wanting to make up stories, isolate you. But this is, this is very serious stuff. Very, very serious stuff. And it's the kind of thing, what they were doing is also pretending to be sweet and kind at the same time. And so that if you would have called someone out, they would have said, you are unstable. You're not getting your way, or that you are unstable. You've lost touch, because the accusations would sound so far-fetched. So then not only did you removed yourself from a situation, you didn't allow somebody to this sort of very ridiculous, absurd, sinister situation to, break you. You're still here as this Queen of Cups, which is a beautiful thing, as you should be. And I think you did something here. Yeah, you've been building up something here that this person can't destroy. And now the fact that you can be seen as this Empress or this Queen of Cups is why this person is unhinged, because they went through so much to... I mean, it sounds far-fetched until you look at the stories of people who have defrauded hotels and people in situations where there's a lot of, they pretend to be someone royal from another country and then show up and rack up hotel bills and things like that, and for years and years and years, until people start to realize they're stuck with a bill, or the facts aren't adding up. Years and years and years of it. It's that type of energy. And those are real stories. And that's what this is. This is that type of a situation, only it's somebody in that kind of a vibe targeting someone who is a sweetheart with a lot going for them. Like a fraudster. A copycat fraudster. Who is still sticking to some kind of a plan here. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can, but the copycat version, corrupt, it's criminal. It's and it isn't, it's somebody who's made a full-time, job out of it. They've built their life on this type of behavior. So it's like dealing with corruption. Like a very corrupt individual. And operating in ways that are, that you've had to defend yourself, but you've had to do it in a way that, you're dealing with someone who, that you're defending yourself and they're reaping what they've sown. But you're dealing with someone who's been operating in secret here. I feel like it's been quite a journey. First you realize that there was some kind of rumor mill. There was some rumors, but these aren't just harmless rumors. These are big ones. These are ones that are big, big, big lies, accusations, things that even someone could have manufactured some sort of evidence of something and then spread it throughout your network. Well, if that's what you're if you're aiming to destroy someone, I guess that would be the way to do it, and be, not held accountable. That would be the way to do it. And that's what we're dealing with. A very, very calculating person who sits and thinks about their plans. And I do feel like it's energetic as well, taking some sort of frustrated action towards you because they don't want you to receive what's fair. Could be something with a child here as well, Six of Cups reverse, the moon. Or even someone not wanting someone to think of you in nostalgic ways. So it's like you caught on to what's going on and refuse to go into agreement with something that is like, it's like a predator who is still out here. They're still out here, just more unraveled because you cease to be their plan. You're not their plan. You're not cooperating with their plan. You're not cooperating with, that's how they see it. And that's the weird part too. It's almost like they can't see you as like a sentient being. It's weird. And their energy is off. Really off. There's a King of Cups reverse here. That someone could be in a tower. This person could be in a tower. It has something to do with someone's courage. Someone moving very fast. There could be someone here that is some type of like wow, this is some sinister energy. Death, Knight of Swords, somebody who's like job, I don't know, but they are Seven of Pentacles reversed. They are reaping what they've sown, and you're not out here looking back depressed. This is somebody who won't stop doing something. They keep going. I feel like for you, things are unfolding in a really good way. I feel like the biggest challenge is it isn't your discipline, your diligence, the love, the sweetness, the mastery, the gratitude. It isn't that. It's that I feel like right now it's your view of the world and sort of looking out at other people who just seem to be living normal lives without this. I feel like there's like a part of you that just really wishes it was normal. You got this Queen of Swords reverse out here. This is just nuts. This is really nuts. It's like they're your judge, jury, persecutioner. Just constantly there. This is what I'm talking about. It's like you're the little squirrel in the park, and then you've got someone out here who is like constantly watching you, always got a plan, judging you, following you. You're just out here getting some nuts and things, and then they've got some kind of issue. They gotta cause a problem. They gotta say things, do things. It's like, no, you're a separate person. Your opinion doesn't matter. It's like, turn this way. Look that way. Go away. It's like they're constantly focused on you. They have an opinion about everything. Whoever this is, they lost control and they're in a tower. It's like it's very demanding and adamant and judgmental and calculating. It's like behind your back. You're a sweetheart. You're kind, compassionate, intuitive, feminine energy. That's, a sweetheart. And everybody can see it, though. That's the issue for this person. There could be some sort of information going around here about someone being real witchy, or someone reaching out even to someone who is some type of like a witchy person that does something for a living here to alter people's lives. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a real phenomenon. All you have to do is look at Etsy. There's like a whole category and pages and pages and pages of people in High Priestess reverse energy that, people will pay to, affect other people's lives with some very dark and sinister energy. It's just a fact of life. Whether you believe in it or not is another thing. But somebody is out here paying someone. They're in a tower. The person that got paid could be in a tower. It's like breaking through some sort of an illusion. They're stuck in the drama, not you. This is just a bunch of ridiculous behavior. Somebody here, High Priestess reverse, maybe doesn't want to work for someone anymore. So anyway, wow, look at that. This is devilish energy. That is out here trying to create darkness and destruction. And that is what is being called out here. Ten of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Pentacles reverse, the Tower. Somebody here did all of this for money. Some, sense of grandeur is being grander is being destroyed for this person. This is losing it all. This is not getting it all. This is, not being able to, whatever they promised to people, it's all falling apart. Tower, Queen of Pentacles reversed, Ten of Pentacles reversed. This person, corrupt, very corrupt energy. If they had it all, they're losing it. And other people that went along with whatever this is are also losing it, or not going to be able to access what they thought they were going to get. They're in a tower. They're in a tower. Whoa. Some kind of a nightmare. Maybe they want you to feel nervous or anxious, or they want out of this nightmare. It has something to do with a choice in love, a couple, someone hiding something big, somebody moving very quickly here. There could be an Emperor in the reverse, something about someone getting out of a trap, someone becoming unbound, while someone reaps what they've sown, and someone seeing through an illusion. And there being a lot of pressure here because someone is in some kind of a Groundhog's Day here. This King of Cups in the reverse can't get out of a trap. It's like a loop. What a ridiculous situation. Outcome, Knight of Cups reverse. There's a Ten of Cups under the deck. So this has to do with, you cultivating harmony, joy, happiness, unconditional love in your environment, your soul tribe. And there's this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse here that wants to cause some sort of damage to this Ten of Cups. Again, here they are looking at you Again, you know, you're the squirrel in the park, you're getting your little nuts, you're playing in the trees, and then this Queen of Pentacles again is looking at you. They always have something to do, have something to say. They gotta, like, intervene, they've got to steal the nuts, they've got to cause an issue. They're still looking at you. Like, zeroed in on you. When they have nothing to do with you. They're somebody's in the wrong lane, they're in your lane, they're trying to affect. It's like just this absurdity. Maybe the squirrel analogy is not very good. What's another analogy? I don't know why I feel like that's the best one. There's like a duck. There's a duck in the pond. And the duck is floating around, and somebody has like an issue with the duck floating around. And then they have to do this and that to disrupt the water and the day. And, you know, they've got to have an opinion about the duck in the water. They've got to try to destroy the duck's life. You know, and then they show up every day and see what the duck is doing. And then they have to have an issue. They always have a problem. There's always a problem. You know, the duck is being a duck. Like, just go away. Don't go to the other side of the park where there are no ducks. Like, find something else to do. And I know that you're not a duck. If anything, you would be a swan. Which is the analogy, is just, you know, you're a swan out here. It's like, oh look, the swan got a fish. They have to have an opinion. You got a fish. You floated over towards the north side of the pond. Now that's an issue. You know, now there's another swan near you. That's an issue. Like, everything is reactive. Everything is like, now there's got to be a whole new plan. And now they've got their binoculars out because you went a little bit farther down. Now what are you doing? What is the swan doing today? Oh, they're under the tree. That's, you know, that's a problem because, you know, for whatever reason, that's a problem. They're attributing what they can and can't have and what you should and shouldn't be able to do or have. But this is like a whole story and a ridiculous narrative. It's a whole ridiculous existence and lifestyle. It's the whole thing is ridiculous. That's the best analogy I can come up with, even though it's ridiculous. The analogy is ridiculous. But I think you get it. What is going on with this Knight of Cups reversed? There's just somebody trying to love bomb people, or someone being seen as a love bomber. They're seeing you get a blessing, receive your blessings, be a blessing, seeing that you're not stressed. It's like trying to stress out the swan in the lake. It's something to do with someone making you a promise. They're trying to do something unjust to this promise. This sounds ridiculous, but this person just doesn't even feel like a human. Their energy is so weird. They're so zeroed in on you that it's just like they can't have your blessing, and they're out here doing some weird lower vibrational spiritual stuff here. It's like they're in a disaster still. They're standing out in a storm, you know, pointing out what the swan is doing. Everything's falling apart in their life. They're very unapologetic. They don't want someone to They don't want someone to see clearly, or for you to be treated with kindness. For someone to apologize, for people to apologize. This is some type of like a third wheel. Again, this is like someone who doesn't belong out here having any opinion in the first place about you, trying to dictate the way your life goes. This is somebody in some sort of very hateful energy. There's someone around this person, or a lot of people are taking losses around this person. Because this person is in some type of sort of like a fantasy here about a lot of money. Which goes back to, if someone thought that, you were some type of like, they were going to sacrifice you somehow to level up, they didn't see this perseverance in you, and they can't stop you, and they're creating a disaster for themselves. So this is someone who feels like, well, so that would make a little bit more sense as to why they're like, watching the swan every day, have to have an opinion. So this person has some sort of plan to get a lot of money out of this. Maybe someone's truly in love with you that has a lot of money. Or maybe it's more insidious than that, and more odd, where, this is someone who believes in that type of thing, where you can sacrifice somebody to take their blessings. So they're like trying to go against someone making you some type of a promise. They're trying to do something really unjust. This is currently what they're doing. Some sort of a third wheel here is trying to get in the way to stop someone from choosing you. It's about a choice in love. They're doing something very unjust that is currently. And there can be a lot of confusion around this person, or they're trying to cause confusion, or they're confused why you're not in a nightmare, why you're leveling up here. Or there could be people around this person, they made some promises to people. This third wheel, why things are not going well for any of these people. Why do they feel haunted? Why do they feel stuck in their lives? Why do they feel flat? Why do they feel like they can't access the things that they took for granted before? This could be some type of like a married couple looking at somebody's foundation. Religion could be involved. There could be something about trying to, I don't know, even something that somebody drank. Somebody doing something very unjust energetically to block someone from working. This is what I was saying earlier. Trying to go against you in every way. This is also so that you would feel it. And no matter what anybody says, having somebody always hate on you every day is exhausting. If you don't have the tools. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on it being like you feeling sad. Because nobody wants someone to hate on them every day. Who wants that? And then to feel isolated. Especially someone who's so sweet and kind. And then there'd be no one that you can talk to about it. Because it's so weird. Trying to create obstacles for you all the time. Some sort of like a third wheel that really doesn't know what they're talking about. Has some sort of collaboration here that's not gaining anything, always trying to get more people involved, that is not able to steal from you. They're the ones that are overloaded because they don't have your imagination, because you are practicing self-love and you're not out in the cold, you're not out on the streets, and you've got good news coming here. So now they're daydreaming about some type of, next plan here, but they also feel like they can't control what it is that you're planning or building. They can't stop you from dreaming. They can't stop you from manifesting here. They're not okay. There's someone around them that wants to quit. The situation is very haunting. There could be family involved that has trapped themselves, and they're watching you here with this good fortune. There's definitely some sort of like a married couple involved. Somebody's not really committed to someone. Someone's looking at some sort of promise coming in for you. There's like a friendship group here. There are people here that are like too stubborn to apologize. I don't think you want their apology anyway. Someone here can't relax because they're seeing some sort of evidence of something unfolding here that is meant to be for you. And it does have to do with eternal love and really building, wealth. And that means some sort of major ending for them. The fact that you're relaxed and focused on your goals. Yeah, and there's somebody here that's involved in this situation that maybe secretly wishes that they could, get help, or, they feel lonely or something like that. They're not winning here, and everything is all about materialism. And just like there's a bunch of catty people that just feel just like, what's the word? Let's go back and use the word NPC again. They just feel like they just one-note programs, like just real catty, doing something unjust, this whole group. But they have like worries in the back of their minds about the fact that they are not getting something they thought, and that it's a trap, because it is. These could be people, something about good memories here, having to do with your profession. You never really did anything to anybody here. Wow. You never did anything to any of these people. On top of everything else. Doing a lot of watching to see, are you down? Are you down? Are you down? We stopped and blocked love and care. Are you down yet? No, you cannot be manipulated. It's not going to happen. Instead, whatever situations they're in, they're ruining their own relationships. And wearing a mask, trying to pretend like everything is okay, following someone here who, refuses to see the truth about bullying you. This whole alliance here. They're ruining their own lives. Things are happening to them that they're not ready for. And they can't stop you. With whatever vow this is that they took here. They're experiencing losses, and it's not merit-making. They're not going to get some big windfall from this. All they're doing is overindulging with someone here who is acting out of anger. They're giving their life away to somebody who can't control themselves, who is, furious that they're not getting their way. They're following that person. Yeah. They're walking into more conflict and loss. Watching you go on an adventure, following your North Node, cultivating the things that you're here to do on planet Earth here. And these people are getting more and more disturbed, unable to maintain or adjust, not developing, not growing, making themselves unwell, good, off schedule on their own life, wasting their own time because of their pride. Whatever the situation is not a gift. It's not a gift. And they're in a situation where there's a lack of compromise, but it's like they're drinking the Kool-Aid, listening to some sort of strategy. That does not lead to any sort of sweet dream for themselves. And you are not in a nightmare, and they're creating a disaster for themselves. And people are not blind to what's going on here, and you're also clearly not injured. You're not cursed, you're not stressed, and you're not afraid. We'll leave it here for now. If you resonate, I hope that it helps, and I'll see you in the next one.